What if Jerry, Yan, and Tong Liya reunited after many years? A K-drama story. What if one unexpected phone call could bring two legendary stars back together after years apart? What if the reunion millions of fans had imagined for so long finally became possible? Stay with us until the very last moment, because this fictional story is filled with emotional surprises, breathtaking twists, and unforgettable scenes that will leave every drama fan wanting more. If you love incredible K-drama and C-drama inspired stories, then subscribe to KDramaHavenn, because the next story could be even more surprising than this one. It was a quiet morning inside one of the largest movie studios in Asia. Producers hurried through long hallways carrying scripts. Directors held last-minute meetings. Designers worked carefully on magnificent sets that looked like entire cities built inside a single building. Everyone was preparing for a project unlike anything they had attempted before. The only thing missing was the perfect leading cast. For months, the production company searched for two actors whose chemistry could instantly capture audiences around the world. Hundreds of names appeared on the list. Many famous stars were considered. But every meeting ended with the same question. What if two familiar faces could return together once again? One producer quietly placed two photographs on the conference table. One was Jerry Yan. The other was Tong Liya. The room became completely silent. No one spoke for several seconds. Then the director smiled. He looked around the room before saying only one sentence. Imagine the excitement if audiences saw them together again. Within hours, invitations were prepared. Private meetings were arranged. No announcements were made. Everything remained completely confidential. Several days later, Jerry Yan arrived at the studio. He had no idea who else had been invited. As he entered the rehearsal hall, he noticed someone standing near a large window reading the first pages of the script. It was Tong Liya. For a brief moment, neither of them spoke. Then both smiled warmly. Years seemed to disappear in an instant. The director watched quietly from the opposite side of the room. He could already feel the atmosphere changing. The first script reading began. The story followed two people separated by time who unexpectedly crossed paths again when fate offered them a second chance. As Jerry Yan and Tong Liya read their dialogue, something remarkable happened. Every conversation sounded natural. Every emotional exchange felt believable. Even the writers looked at one another with excitement. One assistant whispered that it almost felt as though the characters had been written especially for them. The director decided to test a few scenes immediately. Simple conversations became unforgettable moments. A quiet walk through a beautiful garden carried more emotion than anyone expected. A single shared smile said more than pages of dialogue. The cinematographer watched through the camera and softly said that some moments simply could not be planned. They happened naturally. As news of the fictional production quietly spread throughout the studio, more crew members gathered behind the monitors. Nobody wanted to interrupt the rehearsal. Everyone simply watched. Every performance became stronger than the last. By sunset, the director made an unexpected decision. Instead of postponing filming, he announced that cameras would begin rolling the following morning. No one objected. The entire crew believed something special had already begun. When filming officially started, the energy across the set was extraordinary. Every department worked together with renewed enthusiasm. The costume designers created elegant wardrobes. The lighting team filled every scene with warmth. The music composer wrote melodies that perfectly matched the emotional journey. Every person involved believed they were helping create something unforgettable. As weeks passed, the fictional reunion became the heart of the production. Scenes of hope, moments of laughter, unexpected misunderstandings, quiet conversations beneath glowing city lights. Every sequence revealed another layer of the characters. The director often watched the monitors without saying a word. When filming ended, he would simply smile because the performances spoke for themselves. One evening, after completing a particularly emotional scene, the entire crew stood and applauded. Not because someone asked them to, but because they genuinely felt they had witnessed something beautiful. Jerry Yan thanked every crew member for their dedication. Tong Liya expressed her gratitude for the kindness and teamwork that filled every day of filming. The director gathered everyone together before the final day of production. He reminded them that audiences often remember great stories because of the emotions they inspire rather than spectacular effects. He believed this fictional reunion had become something meaningful because every person had poured their heart into the project. Months later, the fictional premiere finally arrived. The theater lights slowly dimmed. Audiences watched every scene with complete attention. Some smiled. Some laughed. Some quietly wiped away tears of joy. When the final scene ended, the entire theater rose to its feet. The applause continued for several minutes. People did not celebrate simply because two familiar stars shared the screen. They celebrated because the story reminded them that time can change many things, yet some connections never lose their warmth. As the cast stepped onto the stage to thank the audience, the director looked across the theater and smiled. He realized that the greatest success was not the premiere itself. It was bringing people together through a story filled with hope, friendship, and unforgettable memories. And just when everyone believed the evening had reached its perfect ending, the lights dimmed once more. A final message appeared on the giant screen. Every ending can become the beginning of another unforgettable journey. The audience fell silent. Then the room erupted into applause. The standing applause inside the theater continued long after the final scene disappeared from the giant screen. No one seemed ready to leave. The audience remained seated as though hoping another surprise was waiting. Then the lights slowly brightened. Yan and Tong Liya stepped onto the stage beside the director and the entire production team. The applause became even louder. Every camera inside the theater flashed at the same moment. The director looked toward the audience with a smile that reflected years of hard work. He thanked everyone for believing in a story that celebrated hope, friendship, and second chances. His words were simple, yet they touched everyone in the room. Outside the theater, thousands of fans had gathered hoping to catch a glimpse of the cast. Large screens displayed the celebration live. Cheers echoed through the streets as the actors greeted the crowd. Many people held posters they had carefully saved for years. Others wore shirts featuring memorable scenes from earlier projects. For them, this fictional reunion felt like the return of something truly special. The following morning, entertainment programs across Asia could not stop talking about the movie. Television hosts praised the emotional performances. Film critics admired the beautiful cinematography. Writers described the fictional reunion as one of the most heartwarming stories of the year. Social media quickly filled with millions of comments. Fans shared their favorite scenes. Some created beautiful artwork inspired by the characters. Others composed emotional music dedicated to the story. The excitement spread from one country to another. Within days, the fictional movie became the most discussed entertainment topic across countless fan communities. At the studio, the cast gathered once again for a special celebration. The producers surprised everyone with a large display featuring photographs taken throughout filming. Every picture captured a different memory. There were joyful rehearsals, quiet script readings, beautiful outdoor scenes, moments of laughter between takes. Every photograph reminded the cast of how far they had come together. Tong Liya paused in front of one picture, showing the very first script reading. She smiled as she remembered the nervous excitement everyone had felt that morning. Yan stood beside her. He quietly said that sometimes the best journeys begin with the simplest conversations. The director overheard those words and smiled. He knew they perfectly described the entire production. Later that afternoon, a young journalist asked the cast what made the fictional reunion feel so natural. The director answered before anyone else could speak. He explained that great performances are created when talented people trust one another and work toward the same dream. His answer quickly spread across entertainment headlines. Many young actors described those words as inspiring. As the weeks passed, the fictional movie continued breaking audience attendance records. People returned to watch it more than once. Each viewing revealed small details that many had missed the first time. Hidden smiles, meaningful conversations, beautiful background moments. Fans enjoyed discovering new surprises every time. The production company soon organized a grand appreciation event to thank everyone who had supported the film. Thousands of fans traveled from different cities to attend. The atmosphere felt more like a celebration than a movie event. Music filled the air. Colorful lights illuminated the stage. Everyone waited eagerly for one final announcement. The director slowly stepped forward holding a sealed envelope. He smiled before opening it. The audience became completely silent. Inside was a handwritten note from the fictional screenwriter. It read, "Every unforgettable story deserves another chapter when the audience continues believing in its magic." For several seconds, nobody reacted. Then the entire venue erupted with excitement. Fans immediately began cheering. Some even started chanting for another movie. Yan and Tong Liya exchanged surprised smiles. The producers looked at one another. No official decision had been made, yet everyone could feel the excitement growing. As fireworks illuminated the night sky, the director looked toward the audience one final time. He thanked every fan for making the fictional journey unforgettable. He reminded everyone that stories have the power to unite people across countries, languages, and generations. The celebration slowly came to an end. The stage lights faded. The audience reluctantly began leaving. But just before the final screen turned dark, one mysterious sentence appeared. "Some reunions are only the beginning of an even greater adventure." No one knew exactly what it meant. No one could stop thinking about it. And somewhere inside the quiet studio, a brand new script rested on a table waiting for someone to open the first page. To be continued.